I have been quarantined in the house for 16 days at this point. By the time this comes out, I'm probably going to be putting it out in a week after I've recorded this. So yeah, at this point it's been 16 days. I haven't been out of the house. We've been to like a walking trail at the park. We just kept socially distant away from everybody. I didn't let my little girl play on the swing sets because we were worried and concerned there, because I guess the virus can live on metal and plastic for a long time. So if you are taking your kid to the park and allowing them to swing and play on the equipment, just remember that. And I don't mean a long time like hours, I mean a long time like days. So it wouldn't be wise, because whenever we were there was tons of kids still playing on the equipment. Bad idea, parents. And then we've been out in the backyard a lot because it's been nice and sunny several of these days, and we played all kinds of games. We did sidewalk chalk, and we played tag, and my little girl has a trampoline and a swing set, which I've never been more thankful for until now. We've been out there playing and doing that. We've been doing a lot of her dance class stuff, and anyways, we've been keeping busy. But I haven't actually been somewhere in the car in 16 days. And so today my husband is home, and I ordered some stuff from a Walmart pickup, but I had to order it from the next town over because our Walmart was completely booked for the whole weekend. So I am going by myself to the next town over to get our groceries, and it's weird. Like, I haven't hardly been out in this at all, and it's weird to drive by all the businesses and they're closed, or there's nobody anywhere, even the hotels. It's just like everything is just like a ghost town. It's sad, really. It just kind of, it hits you really hard whenever you come out and see it. And I haven't. I haven't seen it. I've kind of stayed isolated in my own little world, and I've watched the news, and I've seen a lot of people being really stressed out and sad, and I've been stressed out just watching the news. I haven't even gotten out in it, and I've been stressed because my husband still has to work in it, which is a double-sided thing. Like, I'm thankful that we're still getting a paycheck and that he's still getting paid, but I'm not very excited about him having to still be at work and be around people outside of our family every day, all day, and then come home to the family. So that's why, another reason why I've been doing my best to keep myself in the house. But I had to get away today. I finally had a breakdown last night and cried and cried and cried, and I just let it all out and told my husband how much I'm worried about everybody and everything, and I haven't gotten out of the house or had a break from my kiddo for the last 16 days, which I love her to death, but moms need to have like a little bit of time to themselves too. And used to, it was like I would go to the gym, or I would go clean, like whenever I was working, I would go clean houses, but lately it's just been going to the gym. Or he would take her out to breakfast, and I would just like have the house to myself for a little bit. But since all of this has happened, I've just been home with her 24/7, and I've been starting to get grouchy, and it's just not fair to her. So I needed to get out, and not just for me, but for the sanity of my whole family, because I needed a break. Mama needed a break. It's not going to be much of a break because it's still very sad, and it's not like I'm getting to go on a shopping spree or have fun. I'm going for a Walmart pickup, and I might stop by Aldi and see if they have a couple of items that they didn't have at Walmart, which I'm kind of terrified to even go into the store right now, but I'll just keep my distance and not touch my face and wash my hands and do the best that I can. So that is what is up in my life right now. I've been watching a lot of other people and their quarantine life, and I love those videos. Keep them coming, because I want to see what you're doing with your kids during this time. I homeschooled my daughter for 2 years, but it was so different than this. That's a lot of people are like, well, this shouldn't be that different to you because you homeschooled for 2 years. Yeah, I did, but we still got out of the house. Like, we could go to the park. We had play dates. We went to the library. We had art classes, and she was still in dance, and we were able to do t-ball. It's t-ball season, softball season, and she's not getting to play. If we were having a particularly crazy day and we were stressed out, I'd take her, we'd go get some food through a drive-thru or something, and then go to the park and play and eat our food and have a little picnic. Or we would go visit her Nana and Papa. I haven't seen my in-laws this whole entire time either, because I don't want to bring anything more to them than they are already being exposed to, because my father-in-law is also still working. So anyways, I didn't plan on making this like super duper long video, but I really just wanted to get on here and just like talk it through, I guess. Maybe some of you guys can relate. There's a big part of me that is thankful for the things. I'm not thankful for people dying, but I am thankful for the slowdown in our lives, because there was so many things that I took for granted, so many things that you just don't think about them. You don't think about how lucky you are. We're very fortunate that I'm able to stay home with my kid. Some families, both parents are still having to work, and they're having to send their kids to the grandparents, which is so incredibly dangerous, but they have to. They have to make it work, so that they can survive and keep their houses and keep their utilities on, so they can have groceries and pay the bills. And we don't have to do that. My husband works, and I have the privilege to get to stay home. Whenever we were dating and first married, we both worked, but we always said that as soon as I had a baby, I thought I was going to be able to work through my pregnancy, but I wasn't. But once we had children, that I wanted to stay home with them, and he wanted that for our family too. Which I'm not saying that to like knock anybody with any other sort of lifestyle choices. That's absolutely, like, I feel like everybody is individual, every family is individual, and they can make it work how they can. But for us, that's what we wanted to do. And now I'm, at least during this time, I'm extremely thankful for that, because we don't have to worry about what are we going to do with our kid while they're out of school. And because I can stay home, I can teach her. I actually had that experience with homeschool, so I still have a lot of homeschool materials, books and crafts, and access to online things that I didn't even know about before starting homeschool, stuff like that. So we've had the privilege I just feel privileged. I feel blessed. We live in a little bitty house, but, and sometimes I would feel like, our house is little, or we need a nicer car, because our car is like a 2004 Ford Escape, and then we have a 2003 Ford Ranger pickup. So our vehicles are very old, but they're paid off. Our house is very teeny tiny, but our rent is uber low, like low. We don't own it. Like, our phones are through Straight Talk at Walmart, and we only have to pay $40 per phone a month to keep service on them. That is really good. We don't have cable TV. We do have Netflix, and we have Hulu and Disney Plus, but we could easily get rid of 2 out of the 3 of those, and still only it'd only be like $12 a month. So we have that. So we don't have a whole lot to worry about. We mainly have to worry about groceries, and then our landlord is actually my husband's grandpa. So he's been really sweet with all of this, and he's just like, hey, put your rent to the side just in case you guys need it. And if not, when all this is over, just keep a little spot where you're collecting up your rent, and then just pay me when you can, kind of thing. So we're gonna pull out the money for that and just put it up somewhere, and that way we have the extra cash. But when this is all over, I can just be like, here's our rent for the last couple months or whatever. And he's totally cool with that because he cares about us and our well-being. It's not about the money. So we're just very, very privileged, and I never looked at myself as a privileged person. Growing up, I was really poor, and because I was really poor, I learned how to cook and clean and make things stretch and make a dollar stretch and make things from scratch at home. My mom taught us how to cook and clean and sew, and she would always say, her biggest saying and her favorite saying was, it's not what you got, it's what you do with what you got. And I have always lived by that, and I never ever was so incredibly thankful for all of those life skills that I was taught growing up until now either. I mean, sure, I know that there's not a lot of people my age who know how to do all of those things. There are some, but it's not just like an abundance of people in their 20s and 30s who know how to sew and cook and clean and make a dollar stretch and make food from scratch and, bake bread and make homemade cakes and just stuff from scratch. There's not a lot of people who know how to do that, There really isn't. At least from what I understand. The majority of people don't. I don't know if it's 50-50 or what, but point being, I was never thankful for being poor as a child. Of course not. But now I'm thankful that I was poor as a child, because I would not have known. I would be so lost right now. I can't imagine how lost I would be right now. So I'm just trying to look on the bright side of things about this, and really, I just have so much more gratitude than I did before, and and I thought I was a total gratitude person previously, but now it's just I'm just so thankful for our home. I'm thankful for running water. I'm thankful for our electricity. I'm thankful for knowing how to cook and clean and make sure that everything's sanitized and taken care of like that, because it's so important right now, especially. I'm thankful that I know how to sew and do crafts and stuff like that, because I've been able to sew some masks for people. I have some material to sew some stuff for a nursing home, but I also have some stuff, some masks that I already made for a doctor's office here in town, in my town, and for the hospital. So I made some masks for them already, so I'm really thankful I know how to sew. And I'm going to make masks for my own family just in case it gets worse, which it's every single day. It's been climbing. The numbers of people being diagnosed and the spread of this is just climbing every day. So it would be good for us to have some masks as a family, just in case we have to go to the store and be, in the actual store amongst people. I didn't bring one today or anything, but it's just me going, and I'll be careful. I haven't been coughing or anything, so I'm not worried about what's going to be coming out of my mouth, because I can, keep from talking that much and keep my mouth closed and sneezing and all that. I'm not going to be doing that kind of thing, but I am concerned about, mainly just about what I'm touching. So I'm just going to try to keep my hands off my face, because I have a tendency whenever I get nervous to scratch my face. I don't know why. It's just something that I do, or I'll play with my eyebrows or something. So I'm going to try not to touch my face when I'm out. But anyways, I don't even know where I'm going with this. This is really just a really long rant on the drive, because hey, I finally got out and away from my kid to get out in this chaotic world. That's really much of a break. But it's okay. It's okay. It's good. And I needed to get all of this out. Let me know in the comments down below, how your life has changed because of this, and not necessarily just the bad things, the stressful things, but really I want to hear your gratitude posts. I want to hear the things that you're like, man, before this, I didn't realize how privileged I was, or how blessed I was, or how good it is to know this skill or that skill. Like, I want to know what your thought processes are on that, and what you think and how you feel, because I've never been more thankful for everything that I have until now. Never been more thankful for it. So, and I'm really thankful. Honestly, one of the other things I'm really thankful for is the internet, and I'm thankful for like FaceTime, because we've been able to call a lot of people and see their faces. It's not the same as being able to hug somebody and like physically be in the presence of someone, but we've been able to do that a lot, and I'm so thankful for that. I would be so sad if I wouldn't be able to like see pictures of people online, or I'm thankful for phone service to be able to call people. I'm thankful for having the internet also, just to be able to like keep up to date on the newest what we need to do to take care of ourselves and to take care of the people around us, because it's not just about us, it's about everybody that's involved, all the people of the universe. Like, we are one, essentially, in this time period especially. And that's something else. Like, we are literally, like, what you do right now is affecting everyone. So please, 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 if you're not, taking precautions or taking this seriously, please do, because there are people dying. And I understand that people die from car accidents every day. They die from other diseases. They die from cancer and things like that. But this particular thing, we have the power to keep it from spreading so much. We actually have the opportunity to say, hey, I'm gonna work and do my part to keep this from spreading. So why not? It's like knowing that if you go out and smoke a cigarette, that everybody around you is going to get cancer. Would you still smoke? Probably not. I mean, you don't really care that much, even if you don't care about yourself, or you're not worried about yourself getting lung cancer. If you knew that it was a guarantee that everybody who breathed it in, your cigarette smoke, was going to get cancer, you would not be smoking. And if you would, then, you're a different kind of people, okay? But I don't, regardless of what happens to me or how healthy I am, I do not want my poor choices to affect the world around me to the point where they're having to suffer because I decided that it wasn't a big deal for me. Because that's wrong. It just is. And I read something the other day, whenever I was out and about, that just really got me thinking. And it said, it wasn't when I was out and about, I was out and about on Facebook. And it said that if this was reversed and it was mainly children that were dying from this, you better guarantee that all of the elderly people and the, immunosuppressed, or, basically if the roles were reversed, where only healthy people were dying and children were dying, then those other people would be more caring and thoughtful of us, and not just get out and spread it amongst us, And I read that and I was like, that's so true. I can't think of one elderly person that would just be like, oh, well, I'm not going to die, so I'm just going to get out and expose all these kids, these children. How is it any different? Like, elderly, children, middle-aged, teenager, like, we're all humans, and every life matters. They all matter. So, anyways, you guys who have stuck to the end to this point, you guys are the real, MVPs. Thanks for listening to me. I needed a good, release of feelings and emotions, and, just all that stuff that's been stuck in my head. So thanks for listening, and I hope that you and your family are staying safe during all of this, and that you're being wise, and I pray that the ones that do have to get out and work, because there's no way of preventing it, just like my husband, I pray that the people around you at least are trying their best to, do their part and stay socially distant from you, and not reaching out to shake your hand or trying to get in the car with you, or, you're not having to ride doubly side by side. And if you are, like, I just pray that the people around you are taking it seriously, and that way, you guys are all doing your part to try to keep it from spreading to your families, because this is really scary. So anyways, I love you. I'm thinking about you guys. I'm praying for the whole world right now, because we all need it, and we all need to come together. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So thanks for watching. Bye.